Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube page. How you doing? Today I'm going to be talking about sweet tooth good dentist. I continued from the episode 4 to episode 7, so today I'm going to talk about that. Also, I'm going to talk a little bit about what Mark said the other day and give my insights on it. All right. So, with the episode 47 that I continued, I actually enjoyed it way more than the second episode. I actually enjoyed the show. It doesn't really have any big major storyline that's I don't know anything defined, but the love triangle vibe that they created with the chef and those three people, it was fun to watch. It made it entertaining to watch, though at some point I was like, wrap it up, but it made the plot entertaining. I loved that, right? I really enjoyed that. And also the guy's part where he asked the girl whether she's a tomboy, and then later got his heart broken because he thought the girl liked him or something like that. That one, I was like, you should have asked her specifically whether she's single or not. That would have helped the situation if he had done that. So that's what I have to say about that. Now, with the what Mark said, I listened to a bit of it, and it seems like he's a little bit disappointed with the way the show went in terms of the numbers. And fans and people on Twitter are talking about how the hashtag and the trend stuff have ruined some of these stuff, and how the blame is put on the actors and not necessarily the marketing and production company. And for the most part they are right. Because the show, yes, the production company, whatever the production company is, they definitely need to make money, right? But at the end of the day, it's not just going to happen through the work of fans, just putting out hashtag of a show, right? Like, the marketing team has to do something. Yes, the actors also have to do a little bit something because they'll have to be on the poster. Somebody said that actors are just there to perform and stuff, and I agree with that to a degree, but actors just don't perform. They also promote the work, through their faces on posters and some little interviews here and there, right? And some little stuff. So they too have to do their own, but then the marketing team also have to show what works. They shouldn't just rely on fans and just let fans do the hashtag all the time. And if the show is below 1 million, they then use it as a point to say that, well, it's the actor's fault. That shouldn't necessarily be the case. So with that, I get what they were going at. And for a while now, GMMTV BLs haven't been great plot wise. I don't know if I've said it here before, but they haven't been. Except recently, the X Morning, I've watched the first two episodes, and I find them to be quite good. But most of the other ones, it just always feels like fan service, and with, I don't know, it just feels stretched like that. There's usually not any real story like that, so it makes it harder for people to tune in. So at some point, I feel like you can't really blame the actors for this stuff, and some of the writers too. I saw some people blaming the writers, and maybe some of them are a problem, but I also feel like they're also listening to what the production company is telling them. If the production company is saying that these fan services stories are the ones that are going to sell, so that's what you need to write, they may end up doing exactly that. So that could also be a problem. And also, I feel like GMMTV needs to I love long stories, but in their case, they sometimes seem to stretch out long stories into like way more episodes than it needs. So I need them to probably start doing 6 episode stories in terms of their BLs, because at this point, sometimes you watch a story in its entirety, in a 12 episode entirety, and like, after you summarize the entire thing, you realize that, wait, this should have been like a 6 episode story, but then they stretch it out to feel 12 or 20 something episodes, and sometimes that makes people a bit too bored. So I feel like there's so many factors in how a show does well or doesn't do well, and for what some people are saying, I understand. But at the end of the day, these are my opinions on this entire thing. There isn't just one person you can blame for this. I understand people gravitate towards the actors, but we shouldn't just say that, well, we should blame the director or the writers and stuff like that. They are all under the production company. They all listen to like one similar boss. So, before we just put out the blame, let's just think about it a little bit before. Anyway, that's what I have to say. See you next time, and I hope you like and share and subscribe to my video if you like.